Hey guys, Artosis here with the CasterMuse Star League Season 4. This is the round of 4, and it's a best of 7. We're right now in Game 5, so if you missed the first 4 games, you might want to go check those out. But we are here with Free in the top right of Eclipse against Action in the bottom left. Now, Action is leading this series pretty heavily. We're on match point. He's up 3-1. At the moment. Free finally taking a game in that previous map optimizer. And so far, Action has played pretty aggressively overall, I'd say. But he's definitely a Zerg that excels at macro as well. So I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing some games like that. But we're on Eclipse right now, and we'll see what opener Free wants to do. This is definitely a map where we've seen a lot of cannon rushes in the past, although it's fallen off a little bit more recently. I think Zergs got used to it again and are defending it a little bit better. On Action side, of course, we've seen a lot of Zerglings today, a lot of Hydralisks today as well. And this might be no different. Free now throwing down a gateway, so it will be a gateway expand, it's looking like. Just putting on some Zealot pressure. That's been working out for him pretty well so far. Hopefully he can hang on here against Action and counter all those early plays. The probe going across the map right now for the scout. Going to see the Overlord, of course, coming across as well. Couple drones being sent down. Maybe one to harass the probe, I guess. The other to build the hatchery. Doesn't want that probe doing anything sneaky in here. The drone can chase down the probe, actually. Sometimes if you get right on top of it and do some moving shots against it. And look at this micro that we actually see right now between the probe and the drone. He's just kind of moving back and forth. If you micro around in this area, sometimes you can fake out doing things like a cannon rush. And of course, Action hasn't gotten to his base yet, right? We can turn that off and see. Action has not seen that this is a gateway expansion. He hasn't seen a Zealot or anything. So you can pretend. You can try to trick them and fool them. Look, he throws down the pylon. Now, will Action buy it? He brings down another drone right now. What else are we going to see? Is that going to be it? He's going to go around. Now, if he doesn't put down the second pylon, you know that he's faking. Yeah, he just cancels it. Because normally what you do is put down a second pylon here for a wall, and then you can put a cannon behind. So that was actually a very smart check there from Action. Didn't overcommit drones to send out. And in fact, Free loses 25 minerals from canceling the pylon. So actually worked out pretty well for Action, but I like the idea from Free. Now, Free gets a good scout down. He sees no gas as of yet. He sees the spawning pool, and he gets out with that probe. The first Zealot, of course, has been walking across the map. Going to go up to that third base, and the second Zealot as well. So he's actually going to start putting a lot of damage onto this hatchery. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of lings being made. All right, so we have 6 lings already hatching. Looks like he's making some more as well, another 6. So he's going to have 12 lings, which will definitely deal with this. But of course, Free will probably run behind the mineral patches to make this as efficient as possible for himself. Putting a lot of damage on this hatchery. Look at how low that hatchery is getting right now. That's actually kind of scary. Now, look at that beautiful move right there. One shot's a ling with a volley from each. The probe not actually adding that much, but great micro from Free. Blocks behind them. Probe beautifully done. Another Zealot coming up right now. Oh my god, some absolutely fantastic micro here from Free. And of course he will end up losing the Zealots, but it goes behind the gas here to get as much as he can. A lot of these are heavily damaged as well. I gotta say, I think that was well handled by Free. Of course, Action cleans it up, so that's good. And he is droning up once again now. Now, Zergling speed is on the way, so there is the chance of some aggression coming out of Action. Over on Free's side, we see he has a couple Zealots in the wall. Of course, this egg is tight against the gateway, and the forge is tight against the gateway on top. We'll see if he throws down a cannon pretty quickly here as well. Action has been playing pretty aggressively overall, so might be a smart move. Oh, Action putting down a Hydralisk den right now. That's aggressive, guys. It looks like it's going to turn into a 3-hatch Hydra play. All right, so right now we have 6 drones mining minerals in the main base. We have 5 here and 4 over here. So that's about the right number of drones to produce a lot of Hydras off of 3 hatches. let's see how all in he goes from this. Like, is he just going to go for a complete bust? Over on Free's side, we see the Cybernetics core is done. He's going to want to put down a Stargate. Yep, there it is. Of course, a lot of Speedlings coming up. He already does have the cannon started, so it's not that scary. He has enough Zealots, really, to push back these Lings, for now, at least. We don't have a Citadel or anything. There's not +1 on the way, so the Zealot's not going to be super duper helpful. It's going to come down much more to cannons here, as the Hydras are being made from action. The Ling's just putting a little bit of harassment, getting some damage onto those Zealots. Not that much, though. Good micro on both sides, just a little bit of scuffling going down. And now the Zealot's walking across the map. This is probably the most important thing all game right now. If he can actually identify that a lot of Hydras are on the way, then he can make the cannons needed for that defense. Now, the Hydra's actually going up to meet those Zealots. 5 Zealots is a scary proposition. The Ling's coming in for the flank. And look at that, he sees the Zealots, or the Hydras. Having the Hydras out already tells Free what he needs to know. This is a 3 hatchery Hydralist play, and he is aware. Notice he starts 3 cannons immediately here. In fact, might even start a few more. The attack coming in, he's lost all of those Zealots, but again, it's worth it just to have that intel. Right now, Free... I mean, it looks like he's going to have enough cannons that he's going to be able to live through this, just barely so. That one cannon does get a shot off. Looks like he's going to target down this gateway first, which can open this up, so it's a bit easier to actually target down cannons as well. Let's see if he adds some more cannons. I think he does need another couple of them, honestly, especially if more Hydras continue to be produced. But we can see, which of course is something that Free cannot see, we have drones being produced, hatcheries being added, evolution chamber. It looks like we're going to have action macro out of this, but that's a very hard thing to be able to tell. And you never know, like, are they putting up things behind? But now with the Corsair out, he's going to be able to do a nice scout here. Flying over the drones, he sees how many drones are being produced. He's going to see the additional hatcheries, the layer on the way, and he's going to know, okay, this rush is done. In fact, he canceled his 6th cannon. Does not even want it because this rush was like, basically when you see that they have enough to defend it, it's better to just turn it off, make the drones, and try to get an advantage in another way. So looking at Free's base, he's going up to 4 gates up here. He's remade a forge and in fact is adding a 2nd forge. He does have that Citadel Storm on the way already. I don't believe he got legs yet. If I'm not mistaken. Definitely something he's going to want to end up getting. The Psystorm, of course, such a crucial upgrade in case Action does decide to attack again. Yet another hatchery, so we're going up to 6 hatchery play, plus a 4th base. Action really being as greedy as is possible. Has that +1 still going. I love the double forge play here from Free. We've been seeing this pop up a little bit more in Protoss versus Zerg lately. Those upgrades just so important in this matchup. Some more gates being added. So right now going up to 6 gates. We'll see if he goes for more than that, right? 6, you can easily take an additional expansion off of. It's very trendy to go 8 gates right now. Really get a large army out there to battle. Of course, the Overlord gets all the way in, sees the double forge, has a good idea of what's going down. We have Dragoon range on the way, as well as Zealot legs started now as well. All right, that 4th base is up, and look at the drone count right now from Action. 46 against 46. That's pretty awesome. He has a big economy rolling right now. Lurker aspect on the way, so definitely wants to get those Lurkers out to help against the mass Zealots that Free will certainly produce. More pylons going down for Free, but we don't have a robotics yet. We'll see when he puts down the robotics. Yeah, there it is. So he's really kind of on top of things. You want to have those observers out for when those first Lurkers are appearing. Because there's a lot of times where you're doing your first big attack as Protoss after you've kind of held off the early game, and Lurkers will end up saving the Zerg player. So if you do have an observer for those first few Lurkers, sometimes you can actually just run them over. Now, even some more drones have been added, but I mean, he's making 3 more drones right now, but I think we're going to have to see Action go into pure units from here. If feels like he's been very, very greedy. Look at this, 52 drones. That's a gigantic amount. But he is making the lurkers as well. Big group of zealots running around actually do catch some of these hydras. Going to push those back. Just kind of roaming the map right now. Adding a couple more gateways as well. So we are going up to 8 gates. Probably going to stop that probe production for a little bit. +1 attack already done. +1 armor going to be done shortly. Couple lurkers here to fend it off. Another hatchery as well. So we're going up to 8 hatchery macro here. Queen's Nest coming also. Getting ready for that very, very late game into the hive tech. And of course, we should see some observers pop out pretty soon. I actually don't see the observatory. Yeah, he actually did not make the observatory as of yet, but I'm sure that's on the short list of things he needs to get done quickly. So Free setting up a pylon at his 3rd base. This is looking like it's going to turn into a massive macro game. Great upgrades going down on both sides. Lots of production on both sides. 8 gateways against 8 hatcheries. Of course, that production of Zerg is pretty darn scary. Psystorm going to be important. This little group of zealots does start to get hit by this Hydraling walking up into the center. So they will start to run home. Of course, you can't take that fight right now. The units just kind of spread here for Free. He has a lot of Psystorms. Look at this. Each of these High Templars have 2. This one has 1. So right now we're sitting on 9 Psystorms, a ton of Dragoons, and a ton of Zealots. +2 is about halfway done. Observers on the way. A lot of Dragoons and Zealots being added in. Of course, the Dragoons helping massively against things like Lurkers. And I'm just wondering, like, I think we're just going to see an attack come out from Free. But he is kind of ready to take a 4th. Maybe what you want to do is, as you attack, throw down that 3rd Nexus. So that you can have kind of like a backup plan, right? Like you're attacking, your opponent isn't going to attack you during that. They're going to defend. So then you can get that Nexus going. All right, the move out of Free is here. This is a gigantic army on both sides. We actually have 12 more workers, so it's slightly higher army supply for Free right now. And he has a lot of Psystorms. Of course, Zerg supply is more efficient overall. But I think a lot of this is just going to come down to how strong these storms are. Look at this army. Oh my god, a huge amount of lurkers burrowing. A big group of hydras actually goes around the side, but does turn around as the reinforcements come. And here we go. Free has pulled the trigger. He is going forward right now. The Dragoons already picking off quite a bit. A ton of Zealots and Dragoons coming down for a reinforcement as well. A storm goes down. Actually, kind of a couple botched storms, I would say. Not the best right there. Has so much energy, though, on these High Templars. Just shredding anything that does come up, but action being very slow with the moving forward. Here we go. He's coming in with a gigantic arc of units, but the Psystorms everywhere shredding those Zerglings. The Lurkers running forward for their burrows, but this is a very Dragoon-heavy army. Look at this. He's holding position on a lot of the Zealots behind, but now it's time for them to go forward. The reinforcements coming up as well. We've had a lot of good Psystorms and the Dragoons being worth their weight in gold. Right now, the Zerglings come down. Oh my god, a massive Psystorm right there. Still a lot of Lurker Spines being shot out, but he has that Observer still alive. Can he actually break through? The Lurker count getting so small right now. Free's attack just continues forward. He's still just on the 2 base, so he has to kill him with this, and he might be able to do it. He's getting into the natural. All of those Lurkers did get broken, and that is it. GG. Free with a massive attack and a big win.